Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And I think that a lot of people are joining from different parts of the world. So thank you very much for finding at least the time to join us today. I'm happy today that we will talk about a big and amazing program that GCI has, is the Creative Young Entrepreneur Program. And for that, we have a lot of people who, like from past participant, past winner, people involved in the program actually, and in the behind the scenes. So a lot of everyone will be sharing a lot of the experience and the value that brings, and as well, if you learn something, you have any question, you can add them in the chat, and we'll get to those questions at the end without any problem. So before we start and add everyone in the chat, I will first introduce our VP attached to Europe, and as well, of course, really honor of the CYE program, our VP Alexandra. Hi, Alexandra.
Hello, Pam. Thank you so much for having me this evening for me and afternoon for you, I guess. I'm connecting actually all the way from Indonesia, from the Asian and Pacific Conference, where I am actually a judge for CYE for one of for the final round. I just want to congratulate you on the amazing session that you prepared for today. I'm really proud to see that actually in Europe, our team of CYE directors are so united and exchanging a lot of information and good practices, but also that you reached out to other areas as well and invited all kinds of experiences to exchange and learn from them. So my sincere congratulations. I'm very proud of all of you in Europe, and I can't wait to see a lot of your candidates at the European Conference in Romania on the 25th and 26th of May. So I hope you have an amazing session tonight, and can't wait to see you at European Conference.
Thank you very much for joining this evening, for far away. And I hope that when you will watch these events later on, you will be happy at least and see, that we have brings all the value that you wanted, to share about this program. So yeah, thank you very much. You can stay a bit with us. I will add the rest of the team, and then after that, if you need to leave, of course, because it's late, I will understand, and everyone will understand that. So, guys, it's time to bring more people in the chat now, and then I will introduce you to different member of the GCI team. So we have, I will include our Andreas will be our moderator today. So he's linked to GCI Germany. Hi, Andreas.
Hey, so now the sound is on.
Yeah,
great to be here. It'll be a good round, I guess.
For sure. And we have other member as well from GCI Germany. Marcus as well is here today. Hi, Marcus.
Hi, all together. Hi.
Hi. We have Tessa from GCI Netherlands. Hi, Tessa.
Hi, nice to see you again. Nice to meet you new people.
That's nice to meet you. And then we have a past participants and winner, I guess, from GCI Nigeria, Stanley. Hi, Stanley.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Nice to be here.
Hi. And then we have more members. Just 1 second, I will add them. There's so many, actually. Let me add Olivier. Hi, Olivier.
Hello.
Hi. And then we have as well Roberto from GCI Luxembourg, who will represent GCI Luxembourg as well. Hi,
Hi, everyone.
So, guys, I will hand over to Andres because he will, be the one who discuss with you, who ask questions and everything. And of course, if you have any question, you can add in the chat, and we will get those questions at the end. If you have any questions for one person or in general about the program, and just to know, COI is really about different chapters. So we have different chapters in the call. So if you have any question, depending on one of the chapter, you can always reach one of the chapter to know more about it for sure. But here is really a general information about the experience of different people involved in the program. So Andreas, I will hand over to you.
Very good. Thank you very much. So I guess we have about 30 minutes to talk about experience from the previous years, because most of you have been attending and some of you have been in the semi-finals and finals, which is great. So, and I want you to share your experience in the next minutes with us and with the listeners on the other side, which we can't see right now. And I think we will do that in a kind of a gamification process, like chat roulette or like others. And do you know that childhood game, which is like yes and it's a continuing story. So one is starting with a statement and the other one is saying yes and. For example, I like to fly to the moon. Yes, and then I like to harvest strawberries there. Yes, and I like to sell them on the market. And so on. Do you understand that? We will try that. And I would like to start with Tessa as you're in the car with a first statement. And in the first round, we want to talk about your experience from attending last year, but not from attending, more like how did you prepare yourself to attend? Because we learned this year that some of the attendees like have been very curious. Shall I attend? Shall I pitch? What do I need to prepare? So how have you prepared for your pitch last year? Have you been curious and so on? Tessa.
I hate to break it to you, but I think I'm in the wrong group because I haven't attended CYE. I've been in the audience before, but I haven't attended CYE before.
Okay, then we will put you at the end, and you will kind of, if I would have been attended, I would have been. So let's start with Marcus.
Okay, so when I prepared for CYE, I started questioning myself.
About what, Marcus?
And my whole business. There were so many questions to fill out in the application form, and there were some questions that haven't been asked before. And when answering those questions, I realized, okay, I have to think about that again and ask myself how I want to continue doing my business after answering that question.
Okay, I see Stanley is agreeing with that. Stanley.
Yeah, I think when I participated in the CYE JCY and JCI CYE pitch competition, gave me more clarity as regards to where I should be going, and as regards to the clarity and the journey began from the application, like Marcos said. Right in the application, the questions were very critical, and there were a lot of questions that were different but were similar to each other, that you have to think in a different way to answer those questions. That helped broaden my mind, learn more about my business just by answering the application. Then the training program, the pitching, the post pitching, it was an amazing program. And yeah, for me,
Yeah.
I learned a lot. Yeah.
So it was the first challenge to really decide to apply. Was it same for you, Roberto?
Yeah, actually, Andres, we are also part of the group with organizing and helping to organize CYE with Olivier
Perfect.
here in Luxembourg. So
So
maybe
then let me reframe the question. What do you see the reaction of the attendees? Which questions they have?
So I
Olivier,
was,
yeah,
I might jump in a little bit. I was organizing the CL last year. So that's the regional Luxembourgish competition actually for the CIE. And actually, the reactions that we have is that all the participants are quite impressed simply because they get to interact with networks that they don't have access before. They get interest of people and from newspapers that they didn't have before, and that actually also get some contact. So it's I think quite a positive experience for most participants in terms of startups. And it's in terms of JCI, it's quite interesting to organize it because you get to know as well so many people, right? It's a whole network, and that you can't enter without participating, basically.
That's true. That's what we are facing in all the markets. That's quite interesting. Marcus, beside your attendance last year, you would have been in the management team of CYE Germany this year. So, and as far as I remember, there have been quite a diverse participants. So, what was your impressions about that? So, are they all on the same level? Where are they coming from?
Okay. So we have some brave applicants, and we have some, how to say, people are 30 years old and have a business like for 20 years now, which is a quite huge range of different people. And what I realized is people that just started up their business, they haven't really thought into deep. So they started a pitch which has a very superficial first impression, and people that have their business for years and years, they I had the impression that they really understood their own business in a deeper way. So, and if you have all the same people in the same bunch of participants, and then you can see a big difference.
Okay, but in terms of creativity,
Mhm.
I guess in all the other countries you had has the same diversity and participants. So, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So we really had a few, like I remember interviewing a few students that were in the cave, just starting one idea after another. That's like the one extreme, and then you have basically a multi-million euro business that's ready, that exists already on the market for a few years, where they are talking to American investors. So you really have the whole range, which naturally makes it sometimes quite hard to compare everyone.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
and to both of you, could you see a huge difference in how they and about their creativity in the day-to-day business? Because this is the
I
main thing which the event is about.
if I would think, I think the older or the more developed and the bigger the company is, the more refined their innovative solution is. Right? They have found their niche. They know their market, and they
Yeah,
know there is a need. They know what they are selling really. While younger or like at the earlier stage, you see startups pivoting quite a lot. So maybe they have a nice product, maybe they have a nice solution, but they haven't found really the market to sell it to. And sometimes it's exactly in these interviews or getting we have feedback sessions with major leadership managers of major companies,
yeah,
and that's where they really realize, okay, maybe I need to pivot my business because this is not what the market actually wants right now. So that's quite interesting. I think it's more, you get a feeling on how set a company is on their solution.
yeah. Can imagine. Can imagine. Stanley, how was it with your attendees?
Yeah, but because I participated in the Africa pitch and also the global pitch, and I saw that shift. Like there was this huge shift from the Africa pitch, where you had just six finalists from different sectors: agriculture, fashion, real estate management. I was my startup is in energy, and you had those different diverse companies. And pitching was quite complicated because I was like, what do I include? What shouldn't I include? That would make my startup have a higher and upper hand over these other startups. And luckily for me, at the African level, we were all selected as starting startups. Like we are all baby entrepreneurs. We just entered the market 2 3 years ago. And then when I went to the global stage, I was there was a different ball game. You see a venture that has raised over 2 million US dollars, and from India you see someone in Europe doing a bio research thingy that has gone global and be recognized by big organizations, and that shows you the shift from a smaller community to a global community, and how the diversity just kept on increasing, and also the level of startups. But at the end, I think it's more about presenting the need, why your startup should be the one, and why do you need this at this current point in time. Because someone could have raised over 200 million US dollars, but they are not the right startup fit to be supported by the CYE program. So it all differs based on, is your startup in the right space for CYE to
Yeah.
support that journey. So that was it basically from my own experience, and learn about the diversity and the gap between the startups that are participating. So yeah.
Yeah. And Roberto, same for you, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's actually, of course, I still not com a competitor at CYE, but being the other side, organizing everything and helping and seeing how the entrepreneurs are growing and how they actually can learn from this experience, because it's what Olivier and Stanley actually said, that basically you have different levels, different backgrounds of people participating there. So it means that they can exchange a lot. They can learn a lot of things and even learn more about their companies by itself. Because when you are in a such situation where you need to, to have these challenges of CYE.
Yeah.
Actually, I think everyone can grow. So it's really interesting to be part of it and to help and see how the entrepreneurs are growing through the challenges they face.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Marcus, I know that you these days you finished the feedback round with the attendees, and so what has been in there for all the attendees in the German event, and what was the feedback of the attendees for this first section of just participating locally and kind of being prepared for the next step, and so on and so on?
Okay, so we have two sides. The one thing is what feedback were we able to give to them. On this side, we recognized it's really about how do you think about your business. You know, there are the technological guys. They are very into technology and rationals and data and facts, but they forget the side of how to reach your customer on an emotional level, for example. And we have on the other side people that were very on a very good level on how to connect with people, but they haven't been able to describe their businesses. So we had to make them clear that you need the balance of describing your business on a data basis, on facts and figures, and on the other hand reaching people emotionally with a story or with their personal view on how the world is. And this is this side how to give feedback. The response was very grateful, and they really were open-minded and open to get feedback. And they were very happy because they realized that there are some questions and some perspectives they haven't had until now.
So a learning curve by just pitching.
Oh yeah.
Can I ask a question? How are you guys structured in Germany? Do you also do workshops for the startups, or do you just have this pitching session and then you provide feedback?
If you know Germany, we were perfectly structured.
Okay, love it. Perfect.
Maybe Andreas, you can tell. You were the leader.
It was we've built a structure. They needed to apply, and then we created an event for all the applicants, where the five best, the best of them could pitch in a live session with nearly 100 visitors joining online. But everybody who participated with an application received a goodie like a training, a sales training or something else. So it was quite nice for them. And it was very structured, I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I can add something. What we did is that we provided also some goodies after winning or after participating. So a part of the people have been given a chance to attend a selling training, or we gave books to them, and we have pitch training also. So they were winners just by attending the training, the CYE in Germany.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. So Stanley as attendee. So if you would have just attended and just pitched without winning, would have been worth it?
Um, actually, so here's what happened. I remember I was supposed to pitch virtually, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy a ticket and I'm going to travel to Tunisia for the conference, and I'm just going to go and experience it. So even if I didn't win, I had that experience of meeting new people, networking, even after just climbing on that stage and pitching my idea was enough to like shed a lot of light on my project. I had a lot of people reach out to me. I had a lot of people give me input on my project. Even when I got back to Nigeria with the JCI team, we went to radio stations, we spoke on a national level. People reached out to me, and I had people literally checking out my social media, reaching out, hey, I listened to your talk. It's amazing. How do I get involved? How do I help with your project? And it was amazing. And like Marcos said, honestly, the training part of before even pitching, the training part was amazing because I think right now I've received funding from MIT and so many big organizations at this point, even Amazon. But it was the things I learned from the JCI CYE training program before I pitched about how to structure a business model. I was good at the tech and connecting with people, but horrible at the business part about how to communicate my numbers. So when he was saying some are
Yeah.
horrible with the business, that was me.
Yeah.
I was good with the tech, good with the storytelling. I'm excellent at the storytelling part and the tech part. But the numbers, the business, I always like, nah, it sent
Yeah.
down like shivers down my spine. But after that, I saw the importance of having a well structured business model, how to reach out to investors, how to create a perfect pitch deck that helps you talk emotionally, but at the same time, not too much technical jargon, but going straight to the business, to the numbers, and how you plan to use the funding and how you plan to expand that into the or input that into the business. So
Well, this is
after sure.
this is an amazing feedback, and this is what we figured out as well. That was like, and maybe the others agree. Um, most of the attendees we knew before because we triggered them to attend and to pitch, and then when you knew there's business and you knew where they are good in, and then you see there's pitch, and you wonder why don't they pitch about that and that aspect? Why do they hide with the relevant things? That was amazing to see. And I mean, on the other hand, you're pitching on a daily basis to your employees, to your customers, to whoever. So this journey was so helpful for most of them, and also we as organizers learned a lot because we recognized, okay, a pitch contains more than, and how would I pitch my business? Would I really bring everything on the table, what's relevant, or would I miss also things? How was it in? Did you recognize same things?
So what we did last year, we actually had a professional coming in to teach how to pitch, just to teach how to pitch. So we had a workshop of 1.5 hour for the top 10 participants that taught them basically how to pitch. and also our sponsors were also allowed to come. We were not expecting anyone to come. Everybody was there, like all the major VPs. That was quite nice for us as well, naturally, in terms of sponsorship.
Was it
And then,
physically?
hmm? Sorry?
Was it physically?
Yeah, it was in person. Yeah. So we have, just to give a short explanation, so we have, when we organize the event, we have a call for applicants. Then we select the top 10. For those attend a first meeting with the sponsors where we also have a workshop. And then we do another pitching session where they get like specific feedback on their pitch. And afterwards, they pitch in front of the sponsors. We do a video, and then we have a gala for the winners, basically. So they get a lot of feedback, basically, on their pitch, which is really nice. And I think that's the thing that they appreciated really the most out of it, because they came out, they go, okay, I specified too much on this, I focused too much on that. I need my time to invest more in explaining here. And in the end, I can expect these three questions most likely, because it's always the same questions in the end, or most of the time. And just that learning, I think, improved a lot, and we will continue like that. So this year again, we are having the same workshop just because it brought so much added value to everyone that we were saying to ourselves that it's just worth it having him there.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
No problem.
So we're right in time.
Yes, so yes, totally. And you can still, yeah, still have like 2 or 3 minutes, but maybe no worry. But you can as well maybe ask
Yeah.
about behind the scene of, maybe Roberto has maybe a different experience, because we talk about, of course we need to know about, the people who participate and the value and the benefits and everything. But like I wanted to ask as well maybe about Roberto and you are behind the scene, you create all the things, and which challenge did you see actually? Because I think like the participants have their challenge, but then the one like all the people behind the scene, what are your challenge? So yeah, you can start, Andreas, and then we go Roberto, what you prefer. Yeah.
I think for us the challenge was to make the project visible. That was a very first step. Then the thing is we know that from our JCI projects, you're founding a team and then you start. But if you have a diverse team with diverse personal schedules, living on 5 different locations in Germany, so everything happens online and in a very agile way. That was our first challenge. And then the next challenge was, and this analogy is maybe a good one. So we need to find the nice thing in the everyday's thing, kind of that. So we figured very quickly out that it's not about inviting people who are founding the next big thing. It's more like honoring the creativity in the day-to-day business, and to transport that message to the people, to motivate them to apply even with a pizzeria, because he has positioned himself in a very innovative way, or to motivate somebody with an IT company where we have hundreds of them, because he has positioned his company in a very special way. That was a good learning curve for us. We have been growing with that, and that was our challenge, I guess.
Thank you for sharing. And yeah, Roberto.
Yeah, I think actually in the backstage, what we really, it's a big challenge for every year when we organize CYE, is that to make a unique experience for the participants as well. Because like we, of course, each year we improve. I think Andrea also have the same experience. Each year you are doing a better job, and after a while you say, "Oops, what I do now to overcome the previous year," right? And that's amazing because actually for even for the people who are in the backstage, we kind of need to have some entrepreneurship to really, find what we can do now, what type of workshop the market needs to have, what we can do different. But also we have things from the team, how we can build a team that stays and create this project for sustain this project for the whole year from the next years, right? Olivia, I don't know if you also agree, because of course you worked last year in the CYE organization, so you also maybe have a few other points to mention.
Yes, I think having a team that stays is a challenge. I mean, at least at the very beginning. If you have the core, it works out because you know that you will have people there that trust, like you trust that they will go with you for the whole journey. But at the very beginning, it's quite challenging. Um, I do think that receiving applications is hard. Like if you want to have a good quality, you better work your ass off in promotions that you get some applicants. Also, yeah, I mean, it's just the whole organization behind getting the sponsors to answer in time. I mean, it's really a struggle because you have to get them to sign every year again and again. Uh, and I think those are maybe still the dates, fixing dates and having everyone be able to attend to. If you are talking with sponsors, with having a fixed location, right? That's also a challenge because you need to set up everything. You need to take time off work to do this work, basically. So I think
Yeah.
you really get everything there.
That was basically very helpful for us when we look back at the project, um, to fix dates in the calendar.
Yeah.
Marcus will probably agree, but to have the date for the pitch nights fixed in the calendar 2 months prior was so helpful. I mean, we had 160 registrations for the pitch night for an online event, which is when you nowadays host an online event, you can be happy to have 10 people joining. It was 160 registration, and half of them really joined. That was amazing. And there was something else in my mind which I forget. It's a nice tip. What was very helpful for the German team for this year was that we involved participants from last year into the organization team, because with their experience as participant, they bring a different perspective to the orga team that helps you to understand the participants' point of view. That was helpful for me.
I agree there. I think something that came to my mind now as well, a major challenge is also to define in your own team what is innovative and what is not. Because what we had a major discussion, for example, last year, are tokens. Is it innovative or is it not? If I just tokenize something like real estate, is it innovative or is it not? It's a discussion to be had, right? In a sense. So
Marcus?
Yeah, I totally agree. This discussion is necessary, and we had Instagram live sessions with different people from all over Germany, and this was like the first question of all of them. What do you define as creative or as innovative?
absolutely.
And the problem is, if you don't have this definition, the people ask themselves, should I join? Should I be
Yeah.
competing? Because I don't know, am I innovative enough? Am I creative enough? Is this what I do every day really some kind of creative in anybody's mind? And so I totally agree with your opinion. Yeah.
And actually, regarding that, Stanley, did you have this issue? Did you ask yourself that question before, start, applying for the program?
Um, so I think in our case it's a bit different. For me, I didn't just apply for the CYE. I already got selected for top 10 most innovative in entrepreneurs in Nigeria. So I felt like that kind of gave me that was by JCI as well, a boost to say okay, let's go and do this. But at the same time, we had to do the registrations ourselves. So that was a bit okay. Should I take this risk? Will it pay off? And we had a call. Everyone was on the call, and out of 10 of us, only two people applied finally. So then the two went on to become finalists. Then I went on to win. So I think it was scary a bit. I'm not going to lie, I was nervous, but already having a platform with JCI gave me that confidence. Okay, I think I might be able to do this. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. And regarding the challenge, guys, you were talking about different challenge, but you talk about the sponsor. Which tips will you give, first of all, to any chapter who want to, start run the program from next year? How to
Yeah.
reach out to sponsor, how to, to show that actually there's a real project and not like a fake project, a scam. And yeah, if you have any tips for any chapter who want to run, what do you think will be
Marcus,
the
what was your feeling about last year and this year, and how did you feel about the sponsorship program?
I think regarding sponsorship, it's really important to give CYE like this value, and your national organization has to push it. We needed the backbone from Tobias Hocke, which is national president, or Michel Praum, which is national president number 2, and without their help, it wouldn't have been possible to make CYE great or big in Germany. I don't know if you know it. In Germany, we have about 8,000 active members. So we're quite big and we have big structures. And if you have a new project, and CYE is in Germany for 3 years now, it is very hard to give it this priority as a project, as a national project. And so the first thing is give it a name. And if you have this name with a value that everybody recognizes, it's easier to gain sponsors. I think about Philipp Gotterbaum, which is a guy from Lake of Constance in South Germany, and he loves the idea of making people great. And when he came into contact with us, for him, it was easy to have him as a sponsor, because he realized that what we do is something that's really something of worth. Yeah. And that was an easy point then. Without having a name, without having this brand, I think it would be very, very hard.
Yeah. So what we created, for example, was this. I mean, you can go out to the world and ask strangers to sponsor. So meaning big companies, hey, can you give us some money, or can you give a training or whatever? What we created, and it's the easy step, is a scenario from members for members. So, I mean, we have a lot of amazing members in JCI with very great businesses. So it was quite easy to equip this event with a good basis sponsorship containing pitch training, containing sales training, entrepreneurship books, and that stuff. And then if you have time and resources, go for money. But the value is more like the knowledge and the process and the experience.
thank you. And Roberto and Olivier, if you have any tips as well on your side.
Yes, for sure. So we started CL in 2007, so it has been quite some years ago, and basically I think it is being built up bit by bit, right? You will not convince anyone to throw big money at your program if you have not had any event, any proof of your concept, and any proofs that it will work, basically. So we are now in the very luxurious position that we have a reputation, and that's amazing. But as a tip, I would say start somewhere. Next year you have a proof. You create your own pitch deck and you pitch it to your first sponsors. Then you get some money. You can build something bigger, and then it builds on. It just continues to deliver on itself. What you have to be careful of the quality that you deliver each year, and to integrate sponsors, the feedback of the sponsors every year. to improve. And I think that's how you can, over the years, build quite a big program, even in a small country like ours.
Thank you very much, Olivier, to share. Actually, because we have quick tips of answer about pitching from Marcus in a few minutes, and before we finish, I have two other questions. Last question from Stanley first. How will you, will you advise a friend to do that? If he has a business, of how will you how you say that? How can I say that?
What's your tip for him? What is your tip for
Exactly,
him?
tips that you could share about people who just started or want to start a business, and maybe what is as well the benefits of GCI actually as well, because everything is linked at some point. So.
Yeah, thank you. I'll tell anyone, if the person is my friend, I'll tell them you're about to start a life of torture and pain, but it's worth it at the end. But honestly, yeah, I would tell anyone that is about to start a business is be clear on your why. Why do you want to start this business? What is the purpose of starting this business? Then, when you're clear, you expand to be clear on your how you want to run this business. How do you want to move about it? Then be clear on what you want the business to do. And I think that also transcends to when you're pitching. I think these are the main things investors look at: why, how, and what exactly are you doing. Some people start with the what, then the how, then the why. It's always starting, you have to start with the purpose, which is the why. Then the benefits of JCI, when it comes to business, and especially the CYE program, I must stand on that, is amazing. The funding opportunity I got, the mentorship opportunities, and the friends and networks I've made from this program. Honestly, I would have made them even if I didn't win, but winning for sure, I'm not going to underestimate that or underrate that. It gave me a different platform. So if you're planning to apply for this, you just have to be clear on what you're doing, your why, how, and what. Yeah. And don't give up, because it's a very hard journey.
Thank you for sharing that. And well, and yeah, let me just keep going, and I will finish with Marcus because you will be the one giving tips about teaching. But so Olivier, if you had like something a benefit about CYE for chapter, and as well for someone who want to start a business and who want to join GCI, if you have some advice.
I agree with Stanley, absolutely. The why is, I think, the biggest point, because the why is what will motivate you to keep going, right? The why is what will make you stay. And I think the second most important thing is surround yourself with people that think alike, or at least are motivated in the same way, because they are the people that will help you out if you're in a pinch. They are the people that know other people. I think having a network of people that want to go into the same direction is one of the most important things in life, and that's the case for the CIE and for starting a business. Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Olivier. And that's true. If you network with people who have the same, let's say, suffering, like you said earlier, they understand when you have an issue, they understand, your pain on the way. So yeah, they motivate you, still help you to stay motivated in the project and, in the path. And Roberto, if you have any advice as well about CYE, about and as well about new member who want to join, and as well about new entrepreneur who want to join the CYE program.
Yeah, I think, yeah, first of all, we start with why, as the guys mentioned before, but also after this is all about the people. So it's all about the people that you know, the people that you connect, the people that you meet and you exchange. So this, as Olivier said, is the place where you can find people that think alike and can share experiences and can improve you can improve yourself and improve others as well. So yeah, I would say that if for people that want to apply as entrepreneur, or people that want to be in the backstage, that's more, for example, my case, it's an excellent opportunity to improve and to challenge yourself.
Thank you very much for sharing, Roberto. And Andreas, as well, if you have some tips about entrepreneur and CYE and GCI as well.
Um, Yeah, do the pitch. Simply do the pitch, because there's no cheaper way to get education. There's no cheaper way to learn about your pitch skills, to get feedback on your pitch skills, to train your pitch skills, to network with new people. I mean, we got a feedback from one attendee that it took her 4 weeks to do the pitch.
Wow.
It was a huge hurdle for her, but at the end, she was so happy that she did it, that she has overcome that hurdle to pitch, to motivate herself to pitch. I mean, if you're facing a large customer with the 1/1,000,000 opportunity, you need to pitch anyhow. So choose the CYE to train your pitches. Simple.
Thank you very much. And then we'll end up with Marcus.
Yeah, so actually, it's like a smooth transition into what I want to say next. Yeah, I like Andreas' last words, like do the pitch. I think you need the willingness to learn, and you need to be ready to question yourself and leave old patterns behind, and be ready to reinvent yourself sometimes, not as a whole person, but regarding your business. Sometimes you're learning by doing, and there might be mistakes, and there might be some patterns that you involved in your business. And if you work on your pitch and you have something that you tell the people, but there is no response, yeah, there might be something wrong. So be kind to yourself and willing to learn. Yeah. And JCI is the best environment for this development.
That's
Good.
true.
And I guess, Pamela, as a goodie, now we have Marcus to train us how to pitch, isn't it?
Exactly. So that's the surprise, guys, of the last, few minutes. Marcus will give us a pitch of a training about pitching. So take notes. So he will be fast, but take notes. No worry, you have time. But yeah, just to let you know. And then if you have any question, you can let us know at the end of. If not, we can reach out and we will redirect you to the right people as well. So Marcus, I will leave you the space to.
Shall we put him in the focus? Shall we put him in the focus?
I will do my best to do that. Yeah, I like when you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Attends.
Okay.
Yeah, I left you the place for a few minutes.
So thank you very much for this platform. And that's the first thing that I did wrong. Don't start with thank you, and don't start with any apologies about technology or anything else. But on the other hand, like for this occasion, it's very cool that we talk about CYE in an international way, because you see what difference there are and what we all have in common. So it's my turn to talk about pitches, and I'd like to start with a question that hit me, that struck me quite hard some years ago. And the question is, how do you want your audience to think, to feel, and to act after they listened to you pitching? How do you want your audience to feel? And this question struck me quite hard, because I was at a training for public speaking, and it was in a theater, and the director of a theater, he was standing right in front of me. I'm on a stage, he below. He focused, and he asked me this question. And I was confused at first, so I didn't know what he really meant. And he said, okay, Marcus, just tell me about you and your business. And I started presenting something like on a checklist. Hi, I'm Marcus Paul. I'm from South Germany in the Black Forest. I'm 36 years old. I'm a coach for emotional intelligence, and I train people in communication and leadership skills using emotions. And he said, "You're fucking boring." Sorry for those words, but he said, "I'm boring," and I didn't understand what he meant. But then he came to me on stage. He looked me directly in the eyes and said, Marcus, I don't want to hear a checklist. I want to build up a connection with you. I want to see your emotions, that come up when you speak about your business. Why you love it, why you hate it, or everything what's inside you in an emotional way. And today I have like three points that I want to give you, three benefits why pitching is important and how you can make it really impactful. So Frank, the director, it's called Frank, he was very direct and very yeah, actually he was quite nice, but he didn't let me like go left or right. He stayed with me, and he had the patience to wait and to have me repeating until I told something that was emotional for me. And he said, you know, Marcus, when the people are in the audience and they listen to you, actually it's not about your business and strategy, but it's about you, your emotions, and your conviction. They want to see it, they want to feel it, they want to build up this connection. They want to connect with you personally. And they want to have a feeling themselves. But how can you give them a feeling if you don't feel anything? And that made me think about what story is there that I can share that is emotional for me, has something to do with my business, but gives an image in the people's mind that they can understand, and that makes them emotional. And so we worked on it, and we worked on it, and we worked on it, and we tried different stories that had something to do with my business. And I presented different stories to different people, and I asked for feedback. And there were like 2 or 3 stories in the end that worked pretty well. And those were the stories that I took to put into my pitch. So this is the one side of creating a pitch that has an impact, is connect with people by provoking emotions. The next thing is you want people not only to listen to you and to feel something. In the ideal case, after your pitch, they come to you and say, Marcus, I want to work with you. But how can you make people do that? And you have to ask yourself your question. So how can you make people think about what you just said? How can you make people act? And one thing that is even better is like you're having this event with 50 or 100 people you're pitching in front of. And the best thing is that those people go home or go back to business and talk to their customers, to their suppliers, to their colleagues, and everything else. And they are able to recall what you said. The first thing is they need to want to recall what you said. The second thing is, how can you make them recall what you said? And I think it was Einstein who said, if you can't describe it in simple words, then you didn't understand it yourself. If you can't describe it in simple words, then you didn't understand it yourself. And this is the important hint to how to make people talk about you in an easy way, is using simple words. Because if you use simple words like describing to a child what your business is all about, people can easily remember what you said, and they have easy connections in their brains, and they can easily recall what you said if they have it described by you in a simple way and with words that they can easily recall. if you use like technical terms that are very complicated with Latin Latin words, or maybe Arabic words, or I don't know what else, or very complicated long words with infinite amount of syllables, people can't remember, oh, what was the word that Marcus said. And if they can't recall that word, they don't really know the meaning. And if you use complicated words, then you need to describe the complicated words with simple words so that they understand what you actually mean. But that takes time. So why using complicated words when you just start with using simple words so that they can understand? If you have AI technology, for example, which can be quite complicated, make it easy. Just make it easy for the people, like in a childish way sometimes, or using metaphors or analogies that can resemble what you really mean, that are similar to what you actually do, but are maybe a story that they actually know, or something very simple. Like if you, yeah, so same for me. I have to give you an example. Like if you have writing, writing is easy for you because you all know what writing is. But even easier is, if you want to describe writing, you take a pen and you write something. Because then they have the word, right? You see them writing, you know what to use for writing, and they have a simple approach how to do it. And maybe for visualization, it's the same thing. Make it simple. If you have flip charts, very complicated flip charts, maybe the one you saw before, but if you have something like this, or PowerPoint presentation, use one word or two words, but not a whole story written. Or if you want to give them a feeling, use a simple picture, but a simple picture that perfectly resembles what you want them to feel, to think, or to do. So that's easy. Or you can use symbols. Use symbols, use easy things to have the people recall what you said very easily in simple words. And that's the second poll. And the third point I want to talk about is the question, so what's next? What to do next? What to think next? What to have the people doing, thinking, feeling after you pitched? I'm a coach for emotional intelligence, like I just said. And the one thing that all people have in common is like they need orientation. They want to know where to go, what to think, what to do. Of course, we are all entrepreneurs, and we're perfectly people in freedom that exactly know what they want to do. But be honest, like having your JCI context, your local organization, you have this you have this local organization and the people who are all entrepreneurs, but you're doing a project together. You need a leader. They are asking for orientation. What is your role? What is my role? What are the to-dos? What is the roadmap? They have questions. So if you have a pitch and you have your own question, what do you want your audience to think, to feel, to do after they listen to your pitch? Make it easy for them. So ask yourself, what do you want to happen next? What do you yourself want to happen next after you've finished pitching? And then you have to ask yourself, okay, what can I do to make this happen? And this is mostly known as call to action, but call to action is like buy now, but it's not only like buy now. It's giving the people like this maybe not that superficial thing or that totally visible big word like buy now or give me the money or make me win CYE. Sometimes it's give the people the opportunity to think more about what you just said by ending, for example, with a question, or by beginning a story but not providing the end. So leave an open end and have the people think about what could be the end of the story. Because if you make them think about what the end could be, or if you just ask a question but don't provide the answer, they want to find out the answer. And the easiest way, of course, is like the classical call to action, buy now. But you have to be very convincing that this works. Make the people think, make them feel. And for me, the best ending is if you have your last word, and it takes about 3, 4, 5 seconds or more until the first person starts to clap, to have this silence. And maybe now you feel yourself what this silence can provoke, what the silence can make with the people. And this silence are the 2 or 3 seconds where they decide what they will do next. Maybe they want to finish the story. They want to have the answer. Maybe they decide to stand up, come to your chair, and ask you what the answer to this question is. But then it's easy for you because you have an attraction field and the people come to you. And if you make them think, and if you have the connection with the people within those 3 minutes, you have a whole bunch of supporters that agree with you, that support the idea, that feel connected to you. So answer the question, what do you want your audience to think, feel, and do next after you've finished? And so not to do is like saying thank you at the end, because, you know, if you say thank you, it's like closing everything down and the thing is done, nothing to do next. So don't say thank you, but leave an open space. So it's not finished. You opened a loop and they have to close the loop. And that makes it very interesting. So to sum it up, the importance of a pitch is quite high because it's your first impression. And maybe you know the situations where people come into a room and they didn't talk, but the only first impression, like how they are dressed, what's their face expression, how they are standing, the body language. This is the first impression. And a pitch in a business case is nothing else. It's like your first impression. In those 3 minutes, they decide if people like you, if they feel connected to you, if they feel that there is something useful for them. And it's the moment when they decide to follow you, to work with you, or to leave you behind because they say, nothing in it for me. And that's a final point. What's in it for me? It's about the people. What's in it for me? And build up connection people. Sell what you have to offer. It's about convincing your reputation, your image, your first impression as a person, as a company. It's about the connection, emotional connection, and your business connection, and finally, the growth of your company.
Wow, that's actually that was really great. Thank you very much. And I think that people will have more questions to ask you because it was like a big overview. You tried to give us more and more information, content, to help people. But however, I think that you need more time, of course, if you want to go deeper. And I will add everyone back so everyone can say a last word. But one small question before that: how long it take for someone, let's say, totally novice in the entrepreneurial world to pitch, to learn how to pitch properly? Like, do you have any idea? Well,
There are some basic skills. Basic skills, you can train them within 1, 2, or 3 hours. Of course, you have to work on them and to build up the structure with your own words, with your own stories, with your own pictures. And I think that's the basic skill which can be learned within one day. But if you want to have a great pitch, try it out, gain feedback, do it, search for opportunities to pitch, and you have to find out what really connects with people and what just is like hot air. And so you have to train, just train. It's like everything else you have to do, and you become better by training and failing forward sometimes.
exactly. I think that's because of GCA as well, is that safe space where you can train yourself and have people who give you advice that where you can improve, without feeling, the complex of failing and everything, it does not judgment. Thank you very much. I will add everyone now, then everyone can share a last tips and something else that you want to share before we end up the call, guys.
Very, very great. So I guess you haven't heard me clapping my hands.
Nobody, yeah, you can clap your hands again if you
Okay,
want.
I will do it now. You left this space, this room for us, and so we did. What to do when nervous? What to do when having shaking hands, when not to find the right words? What to do when nervous?
Give yourself allowance to be nervous. Give yourself allowance to be nervous. When there are emotions like being nervous, it's only your body saying it's important for me. And if you try to push it away, I'm not allowed to be nervous now, I have to be focused, you make it even worse. But if your body says, oh, I'm nervous, then you say, thank you, buddy, I know, and that's okay, because it's important for me. And easiest thing is when you're too nervous, tell them, people, I'm here standing in front of 1,000 people at a European conference pitching, and I'm incredibly nervous. Breathe in, breathe out, and then do your pitch. So being
Good.
nervous is highly appreciated. People want to see you as a human being, and they would be nervous. They would be nervous. So they are totally okay with you being nervous. So don't try to hide it.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Olivier and Roberto, if you have something as well.
I think the comment that I want to make, I think that you presented that greatly, is the what happens after. And what we tell our the startups that are pitching for us is know your ask. Finish with your ask so that the people behind, the people that you're pitching to, know what you are expecting of them, basically. And that this can lead to them knowing at what stage are you in, where do you want to go, and it leaves quite a few questions up for the future.
Thank you for sharing. And Roberto?
Hi, yeah, sorry, it was frozen here. But actually, I mean, I could have a thousand of questions now to ask Marcus, to be honest. And but of course, I think it's we don't have enough time. But I would just like to thank Marcus for all the, actually you did a miracle that you managed to consolidate a lot of content, values content in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It was incredible. And actually, I just wanted to ask you how we can get more of this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you use social medias, or how we can follow you, or how we could get more from what you have to say, because for sure I think it would help a lot of people.
Yeah. Actually, for me, the easiest way is joining LinkedIn or connecting via LinkedIn. And if you look into your LinkedIn account, you already have an invitation from me because I want to be connected as well. So that's the easiest way. I'm very active on LinkedIn. But on the other hand, I'm very active at JCI Germany. If you want to do something special, you cannot apply by now, but I'm a trainer at the European Academy this year in Sweden. Or there are several academies or events. Just talk to me. I'm a quite easy guy, and there are many different ways to join. My other platforms are totally in German. In LinkedIn, there's automatic how to say a translation. Yeah. So it's kind of easy. The best thing is, so in the end, LinkedIn, and ask your questions. Just DM.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone, for attending tonight, for sure, and as well for the one who are watching and will watch maybe tomorrow. Of course, I will add the link of every one of the speaker here, and maybe LinkedIn of Instagram, depending of which one they want to be at. Reach out to in the chats, in LinkedIn chat. So if you want to reach out to them, for sure, Marcus, you know him, so now you know that he wants to be reach out. But I will let the rest as well. And if you have any question, you can always send us to the question, or you can reach out to them as well. If you're more located in Germany, Luxembourg, they can help you as well, and if you can reach out as well to your local chapter to ask more questions about the CYE or about GCI in general. So yeah, thank you guys, and I think that it was great. I hope everyone are happy. So have a nice evening, everyone, and I will just say goodbye to everyone.
Thank you very much, Pamela,
Thank you.
for the opportunity,
Thank you.
the platform.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening. Bye bye.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you all.